For over a century, Vande Mataram has functioned as a cornerstone of national identity, a rhythmic tribute to the rivers, forests, and physical landscapes of India. Yet, treating this Sanskrit and Bengali text as a simple geographical inventory leaves a complex layer of the composition entirely unexamined. The progression of the imagery suggests a philosophical code, one that uses the terrain of the land to navigate the internal architecture of human consciousness. The lyrics follow a three-step sequence. It begins with worldly attraction, transitions into necessary conflict, and concludes with spiritual clarity. Moving through these verses triggers a psychological transition, guiding the listener through a deliberate series of emotional and cognitive shifts. The journey starts with the tangible world. The opening lines, Sujalam, Sufalam, describe a landscape defined by its capacity to sustain life: sweet water, abundant fruits, and cool sandalwood-scented breezes. The text emphasizes sensory details to illustrate the Virat Shringar, or grand adornment of the land, painting images of white moonlit nights and forests thick with blooming flowers. In the context of classical Indian aesthetics, this is Shringar, the stage of beauty, attraction, and outer adornment. This focus on captivating natural beauty functions as a psychological anchor. It grounds the mind in a deep sense of affection and belonging to the physical environment. However, this beauty serves as an entry point. It is the emotional foundation required to prepare the mind for the more difficult stages of the journey. The tone then shifts violently. The peaceful pastoral imagery is replaced by a description of immense, roaring collective power. We encounter Koti Koti Kanta, the sound of 70 million voices, and Koti Koti Bujars, the sight of twice as many arms wielding weapons for protection. The figure of the mother transforms into a destroyer of obstacles. The text poses a challenge to the reader. With such infinite strength at your disposal, how could this force ever be perceived as weak? This protector is identified as Dashapurana Dharini, the 10-armed warrior goddess, Durga. The imagery captured in this stone carving mirrors the text, showing a figure actively subduing a threat with a variety of weapons. This next phase represents Sangharsh, or struggle. It acknowledges that protecting what is good requires the strength to engage in the internal and external conflicts necessary to overcome vices. The transition implies that devotion to the land is incomplete without the ferocious strength required to preserve it. After the conflict, the song makes a final structural move. It leaves behind the physical soil and the violence of the struggle to reach a state of pure abstraction. The mother is now equated with divine archetypes: Lakshmi, representing immaculate purity, and Saraswati, the embodiment of wisdom and speech. Her final role in the text is Vidya Dayini, the active provider of the sweet nectar of knowledge, or Gyanras. This is the destination of Buddhatva. The struggle ends, replaced by a state of enlightenment and spiritual detachment. The text suggests that the ultimate purpose of the motherland is to serve as a vehicle for the citizen's spiritual liberation. Singing Vande Mataram functions as a rigorous spiritual exercise, requiring the participant to reconcile deeply conflicting human experiences. The philosophical summary reveals a structure holding two opposites in balance: intense attachment to the world and total spiritual detachment. These stages form a necessary sequence. The path to highest truth requires valuing the physical world, then possessing the strength to defend it. This redefines the concept of the motherland. It is no longer just the earth beneath one's feet, but the final spiritual destination of the mind.